down our spines, evoking images of death and despair. Imagine a world gripped by fear, a disease so deadly it reshaped societies and altered the course of history. This wasn't a story. It was a horrific reality that people lived through every day. From 1346 to 1353, the Black Death swept across the globe, leaving devastation in its wake. It was one of the deadliest pandemics in human history, claiming millions of lives. Millions perished, leaving a world forever changed, with empty streets and silent towns. This wasn't just a European tragedy. Its origins lay far to the east, in the vast steppes of Central Asia. Central Asia was the breeding ground for this silent killer, the Yersinia pestis bacteria. But how did it travel so far, so fast, reaching the far corners of the known world? The answer lies in the bustling trade routes connecting east and west, where merchants and traders unknowingly carried the deadly pathogen. The Silk Road, a network of ancient trade routes, connected civilizations. It facilitated the exchange of goods, ideas, and, unfortunately, disease. Fleas carrying the deadly bacterium, hitched rides on rodents. These unsuspecting travelers boarded ships in Crimea, unknowingly carrying death in their wake. By 1347, Italian merchants, unaware of the silent threat on their ships, brought the plague to Sicily. From there, it spread like wildfire. Port cities, hubs of trade and interaction became the first victims. The Black Death spared no one, sweeping across Europe with a relentless fury. Rich and poor alike succumbed to the gruesome disease, erasing the boundaries between classes. Symptoms were swift and brutal: fever, chills, painful swellings called buboes, and often a swift and agonizing death. The disease spread rapidly, leaving little time for communities to react. As bodies piled up, fear and panic gripped society. Entire towns were decimated, and the sheer scale of death.
This video was proudly sponsored by Gologen, GoLogin, the best browser for multi-accounting. That was a brief moment, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get back to our video.
Was overwhelming. The social and economic consequences were catastrophic. Farmlands lay abandoned, and marketplaces were eerily empty. With a third of Europe's population gone, the very fabric of society unraveled. Communities were left in ruins, struggling to rebuild. The feudal system, reliant on a large peasant class, crumbled. Manor houses fell into decline, and feudal estates were deserted. Labour shortages gave way to higher wages and social mobility. Peasants and workers found new opportunities, challenging the old social order. Section 4. Faith and Fear. Responses to the unthinkable. In the face of unimaginable suffering, people turned to their faith for answers. Some saw the plague as divine punishment, flocking to churches for forgiveness. Others questioned their beliefs, grappling with the seeming randomness of death. Desperate for a cure, people resorted to ineffective and often dangerous remedies. Bloodletting, vinegar baths, and even inhaling noxious fumes were seen as potential cures. Misinformation and fear fueled suspicion, leading to the persecution of marginalized groups. Section 5. Echoes in Art and Words. The plague's cultural impact. The Black Death left an indelible mark on art and literature, shaping the creative expressions of the time in profound ways. The danse macabre, or dance of death, emerged as a recurring motif, symbolizing the universality of death and the inevitable fate that awaited all, regardless of status or wealth. These allegorical depictions showed death, a skeletal figure, leading people from all walks of life in a macabre dance, a stark reminder of life's fragility. This imagery served as a poignant commentary on the transient nature of human existence. Giovanni Boccaccio's Decameron, a collection of novellas set during the plague, offered a glimpse into the social and psychological impact of the pandemic. Through its vivid storytelling, it captured the essence of human behavior in times of crisis. The stories, often humorous and satirical, revealed the resilience and adaptability of the human spirit in the face of tragedy. They highlighted how people coped with fear and uncertainty, using humor and wit as tools for survival and reflection. Additionally, the plague influenced theatrical performances, with plays often incorporating themes of mortality and the human condition. These performances provided a space for communal reflection and catharsis. Writers and poets of the era, inspired by the pervasive presence of death, produced works that delved into existential themes, questioning the meaning of life and the afterlife. Their writings continue to resonate, offering timeless insights into the human experience.